So I want you to look at that behind me. Blue skies and sun-splashed seats here at Levi Stadium for the biggest game of this 2025 and I guess 2026 regular season. San Francisco and Seattle for all the regular season and many of the postseason marbles. And the weather appears to be cooperating. Now, we can't speak too soon because there are some ominous clouds elsewhere in the Bay Area, including some, not too ominous, but darker clouds above Levi's. There is a strong chance that we see some precipitation over the rest of this day, but there's also a much better chance than there was just 24 hours ago that it will stay dry here at Levi's Stadium, which I think everybody would appreciate. You just want to see two teams go at it without the conditions messing with the Niners and the Seahawks the way that they're messing with Tampa Bay and Carolina in Florida right now. So yes, the boots have made an appearance. Ostrich, by the way, not Cayman this time. Yes, the field looks like it's in very good shape. Yes, the stretching bands are out and being prepared. Some of the fans are in the stadium, and we're ready to talk 49ers Seahawks. The 49ers have made their two elevations from the practice squad. The linebacker, Eric Kendricks, as expected, is up. He's going to be the backup Mike linebacker, and we will see if Eric Kendricks can play some Sam linebacker for the 49ers or if they're just going to stick with Luke Gifford in that position. But the 49ers have used their third and final practice squad elevation on Eric Kendricks. If he plays for them anymore this season, he's going to have to be moved up to the 53-man roster, but those are issues and decisions to make at another time. The other second and final 49ers practice squad elevation has been used on the tackle, the veteran tackle, Brandon Parker, formerly of the Raiders. He has played nearly all right tackle over the course of his career, which began in 2018. He was a third-round draft pick then. But back in 2020, Brandon Parker did play 2 games at left tackle. Now, we'll have the final status on Trent Williams maybe in the next 5 minutes, but for sure we'll have it 90 minutes before game time. That is when the 49ers release their inactives. But it's been less likely than likely that Trent Williams plays because he suffered a strained hamstring on a short week. It was on Sunday, and we're sitting here on Saturday before the 49ers play the Seattle Seahawks. So common sense tells you that Williams is probably a long shot for this game. And if he doesn't play, Austin Pleasance is going to start at left tackle. Colton McKivitz is going to start at right tackle. Look, we're going to zoom in on a fan who's yelling at us right now as we're doing the live. He's loving it. He's loving it. You're live right now. He's loving it. He's sitting out there. He's having a good time. But anyway, Colton McKivitz, right tackle. Austin Pleasance, left tackle for the 49ers. If the 49ers see an injury at one of the 2 tackle positions, they have a couple options. They can go straight to Brandon Parker because he has played both tackle spots, 2 games in 2020 at that left side, but he's more comfortable at right tackle. Or they can flex Spencer Burford out to one of the tackle positions, especially left tackle, because he was their original swing tackle entering this season, and Burford is slated to start this game at left guard. Matt Hennessy is the 49ers backup center behind Jake Brendel, and Matt Hennessy has started an entire season and started well. He played well for the Atlanta Falcons playing left guard. So Hennessy could theoretically play left guard, and Burford could theoretically play left tackle if Trent Williams is unavailable and Austin Pleasance for some reason goes down. That's obviously a break glass in case of emergency scenario that the 49ers would like to avoid, but it is worth going through some of the contingency plans for San Francisco in this game, given the practice squad elevations. Now, we're not sure yet if we're going to see Trent Williams in this game. So it's likely no, but he has not been firmly ruled out yet for the 49ers. Let's take a look at where I'm going to be up top. You can see the press box. Morabito's, the original owners of the 49ers, and Eddie DeBartolo Jr. obviously bought the team from them. And you can see all the Super Bowl championship commemorations, the 5 Super Bowls for the 49ers. They are 8-time NFC champions, and today they can take a big step toward both an NFC championship and a Super Bowl by winning the NFC West championship and grabbing the NFC's #1 seed. Again, the stakes in this game are so high because it's either 1 seed or 6 seed for San Francisco. And if San Francisco is the 6 in this game, or coming out of this game, then they probably have to go to Philadelphia. They almost certainly won't get to host a game this year in the playoffs. And, well, they would get to host the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl would still be 3 wins away, likely 3 road wins away. That'd be the very hard path for San Francisco. Guy Haberman making his way down the sideline. He just gave us a wave. We're waiting for Greg Papa. Greg, I think, might want to come live if he's on the field. There's Guy. Give us a little wave. I got to get out of the way of some of these people. Step up. Jerry Rice is already on the field. Jerry Rice is holding a camera, by the way. Got to see what that's about. You guys see that? Is that... I thought that was Steve Young for a second with Jerry Rice. No, it's not Steve. But it's Jerry with a big camera. Look at that massive lens. I know it's a little bit shaky, so I'm not going to keep the zoom on so long. But you know this is a big game when Jerry is out here over 2 hours before kickoff, before most of the fans have been let in the building. So very likely no Trent Williams. And when you look at the 49ers tackle situation, Austin Pleasance was so good for this team last week. He's going to be counted on to hold up against a much better 49ers opponent this week, a much better Seattle Seahawks defensive line. Seattle truly spectacular this season up front. I think it all starts with Leonard Williams. And, you know, they're able to deliver, and I've said this all week, that they're able to deliver good run defense even while limiting explosive passes. And it all starts with what they can do with the front four. So the 49ers are going to be in a battle up front. Austin Pleasance, the way he played last week, he needs to build on that this week. Spencer Burford, the way he played last week at left guard, he can build on that. The line has been really good, the O-line for the 49ers. I think they've actually gelled and are delivering at a much higher level than they were back in week 1 when they did beat Seattle. But remember, in week 1, the 49ers also had both Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, who sealed that game with a strip sack of Sam Darnold. So what happens on this field tonight? Is Sam Darnold going to put up a big-time performance? Sam Darnold going to implode? What is Brock Purdy going to do on the other side? It's all up for grabs. Look, Tim Ryan making his way in, the big fella, color commentator on the 49ers radio broadcast. Tim does his job at such a high level. Obviously, Greg Papa does too. Papa is going to be making his return tonight. If we don't see Greg on the field during the live, that's okay. We'll talk to him and grab a photo. I haven't seen Greg in a long time, so I'm very, very excited to see him today. I think maybe that's the one last little piece of mojo that the 49ers can use to push this over the top against the Seahawks and grab that #1 seed. The season is not on the line for San Francisco, but the clear path to the Super Bowl, which is going to be held right here on this field at Levi's Stadium, is, and it's a big one. It is a huge one. 6 years after, look, Jerry Rice making his way over. Jerry Rice taking photos of everybody. I think Jerry Rice, he's in that photographer's vest. Wonder if he's going to stay in that throughout the course of this entire game. The first 49er taking the field, that is Dominic Pooney, the right guard. Will we talk about the importance of the trenches? Dominic Pooney is a huge, huge part of that for San Francisco. I was going left to right. Austin Pleasance, Spencer Burford, Jake Brendel, Dominic Pooney, and Colton McKivitz, who's been so good at that right tackle position for San Francisco. Now they've got to face an awesome Seattle defensive line, which has given so many teams, including the 49ers back in week 1, problems. But the 49ers won that game in week 1. They also didn't have George Kittle for most of it. He's going to be back today. Ricky Pearsall is going to be on that field today. He was huge for San Francisco in week 1. I mean, there's a lot of positive developments, including the development of the special teams unit, which had Jake Moody kicking back in week 1, which should give the 49ers a nice boost in this game. Remember, their offense has been playing a lot better than Seattle's. Seattle's defense has been playing a lot better than San Francisco's. We call this a special teams bowl for a reason, because these are the top 2 special teams units in football. But both teams, they've got a weakness in one of the 3 phases of the game, and whichever weakness is most pronounced today, well, that team is probably going to lose this football game. On paper, I don't think that I've covered a 49ers regular season game as evenly matched as this one is on paper. I really don't. I think that, and it's also evenly matched with differing strengths for both teams. So it's a classic matchup of strengths against weaknesses, right? 49ers offense and that Seahawks offense, those are the two. That's the strength, that's a weakness. And the 49ers offense is going to get to play the Seahawks' strength in their defense, and vice versa on the other side of the ball. And I think that's why they've been uncertain about the spread this week. I mean, you've looked at the spread. The 49ers started off as favorites. The Seahawks took over as favorites. I think it's Seattle -2 or something like that right now. So essentially a toss-up here from Levi's Stadium. Enjoy it tonight. There have been massive games in 49ers history. This is one of them. This is really big, especially with the Super Bowl happening here at Levi's Stadium. This can give the 49ers the clear path. You're nervous because it means something to you. This is where it's all going to happen. We'll see if the rain holds off. Right now, blue skies, clouds not so ominous. We will talk to you all very soon. Kickoff just after 5 p.m. We'll see you in a bit.